Hello friends and enemies, come with me on day 5 of my trip to Croatia. After breakfast at the hotel, we took a coach bus to the port and headed onto our boat, the Meridian. I got a floaty at one of the nearby supermarkets, but I was so happy that there were a plethora of them on the boat already. As the crew finished up getting our cabins ready, we explored the boat and look at this sun deck. Unlike most EF tours where you have to move hotels every few days, you stay on the boat for the entire week. Since we had some free times before departure, we headed into Old Town for some last minute essentials. I got some cough tablets at a pharmacy and table salt at a supermarket to gargle with some water at night. Once we were done shopping, we headed back on the boat to meet with the crew and go over basic rules for life on the boat. We got these welcome drinks and these fried dough balls before it was time for us to set sail along the Dalmatian coast. As we finished up our drinks, we got our cabin assignments and our drink wristbands for ordering drinks at the bar on board. Not gonna lie, I low-key struggled getting my luggage up to my cabin because I was on the upper deck, but it was definitely worth it because I had my own cabin and my own bathroom all to myself. Once it was 12:30, we heard the bell and it was time to go down to the salon for lunch. What makes Cruise Croatia really unique is that you get both breakfast and lunch cooked by your private chef on board every day. Especially since this is a plus trip, it makes it one of the more all-inclusive itineraries. After lunch was our first swim stop of the trip and we literally could not contain our excitement. People were jumping off the boat, we had floaties, we had goggles, and even if you're not the strongest swimmer like I am, there's a rope that the crew puts out where one end is tied to the boat and the other end is tied to a lifesaver, so you could just hang on to that and just chill out in the water. After about 2 hours of swimming, it was time to head back onto the boat and go off to our next port, Hvar. We started off our visit with an hour walking tour around Old Town Hvar. All of the walking tours on Cruise Croatia were nothing longer than an hour, which was really nice since most of the places that we visited were pretty compact and it gave us free time to explore on our own for the evening. After the walking tour, a group of us hiked up to the Spanish fortress, but somehow we ended up at the unofficial viewpoint, so we had to go back down and then go around and climb back up to the actual viewpoint. After taking photos there, we headed down into Old Town again to meet up with the rest of the group since our TD Heather had made reservations at a restaurant for us. I got a seafood pasta, and if you don't try the seafood in Croatia, you're missing out. After dinner, we headed back to our boat for happy hour, and since the ports are really small, all of the boats are moored together, so you have to cross through the other boats to get to your boat. Once we all freshened up and pre-gamed a bit on the boat bar, we headed as a group to Nautica, one of the bars along the marina. Our TD Heather had booked a shot show for us, but unfortunately we came a little bit late, but they were still nice enough to give us a free round of shots upon arrival. Since we were in the middle of high season in Croatia, it can get pretty crowded in the bars and nightclubs, but we were able to claim a spot for ourselves and dance the night away even when our group dwindled down a bit. Out of the 26 of us that went out that night, 8 of us stayed until 2 a.m. And even when we got back to the boat, we didn't feel like sleeping, so I got my Uno cards from my room and we played on the upper deck until like 3 a.m. Like and follow for day 6.